Hi everybody and welcome to this Matrix Fitness workout. My name is Matt Gleed, I'm your master trainer here at Matrix Fitness, and today we're going to do a conditioning class where we're going to take you through 3 rounds of exercises. Each round we will do 2 circuits of the exercises. That way then you can learn the exercises and then really go after the workout that's appropriate for your fitness level as well. I'll do every single repetition with you. I'll give you options to make the exercises harder and easier as we go through the workout. In terms of space, you just need a little bit of space around you. I've got a mat nearby me just to make it a little bit more comfortable when we go down to the floor. Predominantly the exercises will be cardiovascular focused, with some core work being focused into the center part in the second workout, or the second round, sorry. And then we will bring it together with some fitness work towards the end as well. So let's get you warmed up. We'll do a cool down at the end, but let's look forward to this main part of the workout as well. So to begin with, just start to open up the arms across your body. And just start to feel a little stretch coming through your shoulders. Start to open up through the chest muscles and through your shoulder muscles so you can start to create a bit of mobility and also some muscle activation through this upper body. We do have some upper body exercises coming in as the first exercise and also in every other exercise as well. So we've got lots of work being done. Let's start to take a little rotation through the body. So just pivoting off your feet, start to rotate around from the ankle through to the hips, through to the upper back as well, just so we can start to mobilize and feel a little bit more comfortable through the upper body. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take you into a little squat as well. So just lower your hips down towards your heels. It doesn't have to be deep to begin with. Just start to move a little bit deeper as when you feel comfortable to do so. And your goal here is to try and keep your back straight. Now we'll focus on this during the exercises, but there will be a few exercises today where we take you into a squat position, and every time we want to really focus on something straight. So early on, I want you to focus on either the monitor or the screen in front of you, either a picture or something which would help you give an eye view that you are always looking upwards when we go down into these deep squats. Okay, let's start to mobilize to the hips a little bit more, taking a step back lunge and then alternate through the legs. Every time you do these lunges, again, we're keeping the back straight. We're lowering the back knee down towards the floor with equal body weight between both feet. So when you do this one, I'm going to use my arms to alternate just to help give me a bit of control over the way that I'm moving my body and maintaining that equal distribution of weight between both feet. Good, okay, let's try to get the heart rates up a little bit more. Imagine you've got a skipping rope, and I just want you pushing off the floor just so we can start to get your heart rates up a little bit higher. Now when you're doing this will start to not only get your heart rates up, but also just get the calves and your feet starting to work a little bit more as well. We've got an exercise, this is our second exercise today, which is where we're going to be pushing from side to side. So it's important that we get all of the little nerves around the feet starting to wake up a little bit. So let's just move this from side to side. And we're also going to split the feet and just shuffle forwards and backwards with them as well. This will get you ready for a little bit of jumping work. I'll give you options so that you don't have to jump if you don't want to. But if you want to make it yourself have a little bit of a tougher workout, sometimes some of the jumps will start to progress you and challenge your fitness a little bit more as well. Okay, just loosen your body up. Let's take yourself into a fighting stance with jab, cross, a jab. We're going to jump 180 degrees and again jab, cross, jab. Now every time that we go into these movements, just start to throw those fists forwards, pivoting off your feet, and each time bring the hands back into the shoulders. This will start to prepare your body, especially the upper body, ready for some of our strength exercises. We've got some press-ups, we've got some renegade rows where we're going to be working through the shoulder joint. So it's important to get these ready. And then say our first exercise is going to require a little bit of shoulder movement as well. Let's take it into a knee strike. So pivot the feet over to one side, reach the arms high. You're going to dynamically drive that knee up 3 times, pivot to the opposite side, and then again in the opposite direction. So what we're looking to do here is a big movement in the hips. It helps keep the heart rates up, but it starts to fire up some of these glute muscles as well, which are going to be needed for some of your work when you're pushing off from side to side. Let's do 3 more on each side. Reach those hands high as you drive your knee up to around about stomach to chest height if you can. Okay, relax there. We've got 10 seconds for the first exercise. Let's take yourself down to the floor where we can show you the first movement. So we're in a press-up position, doing a toe reach. So from here, you return to the press-up position each time. Let's get you moving straight away, 45 seconds. reach towards your toe, reposition yourself into a press-up position, and then over to the opposite side again. Big dynamic movement, reach towards the toe, reset into that strong press-up position, and then over to the opposite side. Yeah, so you get a bit of mobility for the shoulder. As the hips pike up, you get mobility into your hips, but at the same time here, you're working with a lot of stability through the strength of the upper body as well. Last 5 seconds of work to go, then we're going to get you standing up. Okay, shake yourself out a little bit here. Next exercise is called a speed skater. We're going to move to one side to the other. So we're going to drive over from one side over to the opposite. Now you can bring your feet to touch in towards the floor if you'd like to. Let's get moving for 45 seconds. Make it a dynamic movement. Spend a bit of time just to pause, help stabilize, and then push over from one side over to the other. See how far you can start to travel, and also the tempo which you work at is going to challenge your fitness as well. Now, if you want a little bit of challenge of stability, you'll start to notice that I'm taking my foot off the floor, so I'm having to maintain a bit of balance from one side to the other. If you want to take the foot in towards the central step, that's absolutely fine. So you've got that foot coming in towards your ankle, touching the floor to give you that bit of stability if you'd like to as well. Don't forget, we will do these exercises in the second circuit, so you can start some of the variations and see which ones you prefer. Our third exercise is called a pop-up squat. So feet wide and turned out. Lower your hips down towards your heels, ideally with your hands touching the floor, but that does depend on your mobility. You're going to push it up and then back down. Let's go for 45 seconds. The back stays straight like we talked about in the warm-up. And what we're looking to do here is to push off the floor quickly, reset yourself down so the hips come down towards your heels, and then push yourself back up again. Good. Now, the benefit of having your feet wide and turned down a little bit means that you can get your hips to come down a little bit lower. So if you're not touching the floor, that's fine, but maybe try and take your legs just a little bit wider so you can create a little bit more range of movement available on the hips. You've got just 5 seconds to go. And relax there. Let's go down to the floor again, ready for our toe reaches. We'll take you through the toe reaches, speed skaters, and the pop-up squats again. Strong press-up position to start with here. Okay, let's get you set up and reach towards the toes. Keep yourself breathing, try not to hold your breath. See if you can come back to the position where you're almost like a press-up position, and where your eyes are looking in between your fingertips. That will just help make sure that your hips come back to a neutral position, where if I said you put in a press-up, you could do as well. So there's an option of putting in the press-up if you'd like to make it harder. Just keep yourself moving. You've got just over 10 seconds to go. Chance to get a couple of press-ups in the middle if you'd like to. And relax there. Okay, let's get you ready for the speed skaters. Again, you've got the option of balancing on the foot, or as you push over, foot can touch just on the instep of your opposite leg. Create a little bit of space. Let's see how far you can start to travel. Let's get you moving for 45 seconds, pushing off from side to side. Use your arms to counterbalance, which means that you can then start to control that momentum that you create through pushing off with the inner thigh and the outer glutes. Strong dynamic movement here. If you want to move quicker, that's absolutely fine. You can pick up the tempo if you want to. Keep pushing, be strong. You've got just over 10 seconds to go. Keep that dynamic movement. Be thoughtful about how far you're starting to travel. Maybe you've got 2 points on the floor that you can monitor to see if you're hitting each point each time. And relax there. Let's get ready for the pop-up squats. So feet turned out, having the legs fairly wide. Lower your hips down towards your heels. Back staying straight if you can. 5 seconds, and then we start to these pop-up squats. 2, 1, let's move. So quick movement here. If this is too much, just take yourself into a basic squat for me. If you want to make it harder, clap your heels together and then place the feet back to where they just were. So you've got different options here. To make it easier, it's just a basic squat. To make it harder, here's your option again, bringing your heels together. So you pick the intensity you want to work with. Just over 15 seconds left of work. Just keep looking at that point that we mentioned earlier. So that will keep your back straight. Remember we said it was either the monitor, maybe it's your reflection. It's at around about head height ideally. And relax there. Okay, that's the first round done. The second round of exercises, we're going to grab a mat and we're going to take you down to the floor. And the first move we're going to do is called a Russian twist. Let's get you sat down, arms extend out to the front, lower yourself down, and you're going to rotate round from side to side. So you can see why we've warmed up with a bit of rotation, but now what we've got is the option of lowering yourself back as far as you feel comfortable. If you'd like to go a little further, that'll make the exercise a little bit harder. If you find it gets too hard, sit yourself up a little bit higher again. Other options to make this a little bit harder is to lift your feet off the floor. That would be another progression if you would like it. So I've got just about the same distance between my feet and my knees on this one. Okay, let's turn you over onto a press-up position now. So a bit of upper body strength in this second round, our core round. What we're looking for here is I'm going to do the first round on my knees. The second round we're going to do on the toes a little bit more as well. So you can pick the option. Let's get your hands underneath your shoulders. Lower your chin, chest, and hips all the way down, and then be strong as you push off the floor. Now your goal here is to work on the range of the movement in the shoulder, and the depth that you lower it down towards the floor. You'll often see people doing quite a shallow press up, and I want you to work on the depth here, and later on you'll start to work on the stability, and when you get this mobility and stability and strength all together, you'll improve the quality of your press ups. So work on the range, if you can do them on your toes, and then keep those going. Okay, now relax there. Let's turn you onto your backs, lying down flat in a horizontal position. Legs extended and arms extended. Look up towards the ceiling. What we're going to do here is we're going to exhale as you reach up towards your toes, lifting your shoulder blades off the floor, and then lower yourself back down. So exhale as you reach up. Inhale as you lower yourself back down. Your goal is to reach upwards towards where your toes are, and then lower yourself back down with control. Try not to just collapse. The speed of which you lower yourself down is actually where a lot of the benefit of the workout comes from. You are going to work through the front of your hips. We'll give those a good stretch at the end of the workout. It's a great exercise, especially if you're reaching upwards. Don't worry about going forwards in front of your feet. It's about reaching upwards and your feet being used as long levers to challenge you as you control this movement down. Okay, let's get you sat up again. We've got the Russian twist coming up again. So remember the options. Arms were laid out in front of us. Lower yourself back down and you rotate from side to side. And if you want to progress it a little bit more, lift your feet up a little bit higher. Let's get you working for 45 seconds. Good. And just keep that movement going. Move from one side to the other. Keep a good quality of movement here. Try and keep your spine straight as possible. And although it rotates, it's still being maintained in that neutral position. So if you're working with the option of lifting your feet up, keep it steady, don't rush it too much. You want to keep slow movement so the good quality of movement is there. With just 15 seconds to go, then we'll take you into your press-ups again. Last 10 seconds, try to look around behind your shoulder if you can. Good, and relax there. Turn you over onto your press-ups. Now remember, we're focusing on the range of movement, so getting into that deep position where your hips and your chest and chin all lower down towards the floor. We start in 5, let's get you ready. Full press-ups if you can, always move to your knees if you need to. This is your knee option. This is your full option up onto the toes. Let's get you working here. Keeping that quality, keeping your body like a plank of wood, really. Long, strong, straight. Keep the body lower and then push away from the floor. You've got 15 seconds to go. If you need to drop to your knees, you can do. Last 5 seconds of work to go. Okay, let's take you onto your V6 again. So lying your whole body flat, arms extended, legs extended, looking up towards the ceiling. In this long, tall position, you've got to maintain the control the whole time. Starting in 3, 2, exhale as you reach up, inhale as you lower yourself back down. Keep control. If you want to make this a little bit easier because you're starting to fatigue, bring your knees and elbows together. So you're just reducing the length of your body, which means that you're not using your lever length as much. So keep control if you can. If you can extend those arms and legs, using longer lever lengths will make it harder, but you've got to maintain the control of the movement as well. Last 10 seconds of work to go. And relax there. Okay, the next exercise we've got is a floor to push off lunge. So what we're going to do is we're going to be down on the floor. We're going to bring yourself up. You're going to bring one foot underneath your stomach. And then from here, push up into a lunge and then back down. So all the way down towards the floor, foot into the center, push yourself up. Now we're keeping the work on one leg here. So just be mindful about which leg you're working on. Lower yourself down towards the floor each time. Push yourself up and then push off with the foot as well. Now again, the quicker you move in between the floor and standing yourself up, that will challenge your heart rate a little bit more and start to be a little bit more dynamic for the leg muscles to work on. And rest there for me. Now the next exercise is a renegade row. So this is working for your upper back and the shoulder movements as well. So hands underneath your shoulders. Hold up a press-up position for me. What we're going to do is we're going to bring one hand up towards your shoulder, place it back onto the floor, and then over to the opposite side. So you're alternating, lifting the hand up, bring it into the chest and shoulder, and then place it back down again. Now my top tips on this one are to squeeze your butt cheeks and your quads together. You might find that it's a little bit harder, but that making it harder is giving you a little bit more core work, and it's also starting to recruit a few more of the upper back and the shoulder muscles, so you get a better workout from doing it as well. If you find that you're moving the whole body, you're going to find that you lose tension. So keeping the hips in place, bring the hand up slowly, and keeping control is definitely your goal on this one. Okay, relax there. Now, the last exercise we're going to do is a burpee. And then we're going to bring all three of these exercises around for the second circuit. So, the burpee is going to be from this press-up position again, jump in, jump up, come back down to the floor. So you jump out, jump in, and push off the floor as well. Let's get you working. Jump out, jump in, jump up. Now, if you need an option, you can walk out, walk in, and stand up as well. So you pick the intensity that suits you, and you should start to feel like your heart rate is going high because of the big range of movement that you're working with. With 20 seconds left to go, start to work on the option that you want to now. If you've tried a couple of options, maybe you want to alternate between the easier one and the harder one, your choice. We just want to challenge your fitness and make it a dynamic exercise. And relax there. Okay. The floor to the push-up on the leg now. Remember, we did one leg. Well, if you want to, make sure you are facing opposite direction. I'll do that way so you can see the movement of the leg. But we're making sure it's a dynamic movement. Down to the floor. Bring your foot underneath your stomach, push yourself off, and then you reset. And you can sit low and down towards the floor with every repetition. So that way then my body has to work hard and I push myself off the floor. This way, if you picked those full press-ups earlier, this is where you're going to start to find your upper body gets a really good workout as well now. Mainly because they start to fatigue, but we've also got the renegade work and the burpees to come as well. Last 5 seconds. And relax there. Okay, let's take it down to the floor for that renegade work. Remember my top tip, squeezing your quads and your glutes tight so that it contracts the core muscles, and that'll give you a little bit of stiffness and stability, which is great for creating a strong base. Let's get moving. Hand comes in towards your shoulder, place it down onto the floor, swap it over to the opposite side. Good. And just keep that big range of movement coming, so the hand comes up to the shoulder. You're trying to keep your body fairly stable as you move into these positions. Thinking about squeezing your glutes and your quads tight. Be strong. 15 seconds of work to go. Try not to let your hips sneak up at all. Keep a strong plank position. Place the hand down onto the floor. Eyes looking in between where your hands are. And relax there. Okay, our very last exercise is our burpees. Jumping or walking in and out of the different positions. So your choice as to how hard you want to work. We've got just over 5 seconds before we do this last 45 seconds of work. Then we're going to relax, take you into a little bit of a cool down as well. Let's get moving. So jump in, jump up, jump back out again. Just try and keep that rhythm going. If you need the walking option, here it is. You walk out, walk in, and stand up again. So you pick the intensity. That way it's not my fault if you can't move very well tomorrow because you've worked so hard today. Be strong, be dynamic, keep the rhythm going. You've got just over 10 seconds of work to go. Don't miss a repetition, take time to do as many as you can. And relax there. Okay, we're going to let your breathing come back down to you a little bit. Just start to open up the arms. As your breathing comes back down, start to stretch through the shoulders, mobilizing through the chest. Start to lengthen those muscles that have been working. Bring the hands behind you, link them together. Now lift your chin and chest up high so you can feel a stretch through the chest muscles. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring your arms around you, push away. Think about hugging a giant ball, and it's an inflatable ball. So as you were to blow more air into it, your arms start to open out. Excellent. Good, just loosen yourselves up here. Let's take you down to the floor where we're going to start to stretch out the hips a little bit more. So the first thing we're going to do is rest your knees onto the floor, and I'm just going to lower your hips down towards the floor, just so you feel a nice stretch for the front of your hips. Now with all that core work and also some of those jumpy movements, your hips have been working hard this morning, so let's get a good stretch for those. Eyes look up towards the ceiling and the wall. Roll your shoulder blades back. Let's tuck your feet under and push into your hands. And then you come into this downward facing dog. Now I want you to push your heels down towards the floor. I want you to still pedal 1 foot at a time. Now the goal here, by moving 1 foot at a time, you start to stretch out the calves. And with a fair bit of jumping work there, it's important that we stretch out through the lower limbs as well. Now let's lower your hips forward, but this time, I'm not going to rest my knees onto the floor, I'm just going to suspend myself with my arms. Again, eyes looking up. Giving a nice stretch through the front of the hips. Let's push the downward facing dog again. Holding the position this time, so we're not pedaling the feet. Just starting to work through the back of the legs. Now pick up 1 foot and try to get it as close to your hand as possible. And if I haven't quite got there, just wiggle your foot forwards a little bit more, and then reach your arm up high. Push your back heel away, so you get a deep stretch all the way through the body. Now bring that hand down, Step back to down facing dog, and over to the opposite side as well. And again, reach the arm up high, push the back heel away. You get a deep stretch through. This is a great stretch. It's called the world's greatest running stretch. Bring your hand back down. Now bring yourself down to a kneeling position and just lower your hips down towards your heels. Creep your fingertips forward so you get a stretch through the back of the arms and also down the sides of your back. From here, just slowly roll up through each vertebrae at a time. So come onto your feet, roll up through the body, loosen yourself up a little bit. Now we're going to just take you into a standing quadricep stretch. So focus on something in front of you. Bring one foot up into the palm of your hand. Have a slight bend in the standing foot. And think about pushing your foot into the palm of your hand. Just to develop that stretch through the quadriceps a little more. Excellent. Slowly release that foot, swap it over to the opposite side. And again, slight bend in the standing foot. Straighten through the torso. Excellent. Slowly release it. Give it a little shake out there. Thank you very much for joining me on this Matrix Fitness workout. My name is Matt. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've been checking out the exercises and you're joining us at 5 o'clock this evening, we look forward to seeing you then. And if not, we'll see you next week, every Tuesday and Thursday, 7:45 in the morning, 12 o'clock lunchtime, and 5 o'clock in the evening as well. Take care, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.